This is it.
The Kshasta Morning Show with Don and Heather.
Today's hits and yesterday's favorites, Kshasta 104.3. We've got a great show coming up in Red Bluff that we want to send you to. This guy became a star when he was just 16 years old. And check this out. In 2008, more than 30 million television viewers, and you may have been one of them, that fell in love with his amazing voice. 44 million votes made him runner-up on Season 7 of American Idol. The song, the huge song, How Big Was It? Song is crushed. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The week of its release, the track sold 166,000 downloads. That happened in the first week, and more than 1.92 million digital copies. He's David Archuleta, and he joins us this morning. David, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great. Thank you.
Talk a little bit about that feeling when you have a single like that, and then you see that it's skyrocketing, that you're sitting at home and they're telling you that it's just selling like crazy. How does that feel as an artist?
It felt pretty amazing. It was definitely a milestone as a performer and as an artist. It wasn't really anything I was expecting or imagining. It's kind of something I thought would never really happen.
Sure, and people talk about American Idol, and obviously that's part of your history no matter what. David Cook was on the show with us, and he talked about the two of, he was with us. He talked about what it was like. He said, Archie and I threw it up into the air. He said, you know what? We didn't know who was going to win, and to us, he said it really didn't matter. Was it a letdown not to win?
It wasn't really, because he explained it pretty well. Just neither of us really were not necessarily the most competitive people, and it seemed like a lot of the people of our season weren't necessarily competitive towards each other. We were musicians who were just grateful to be there and to have an audience to listen to us. And a lot of the people who worked on American Idol were surprised, and they said, wow, you guys aren't very dramatic at all this season. You're just all so easygoing and chill. And I think that came across with our friendships and just the competition itself. And when it came to David Cook winning, I was really happy for him and glad.
Well, David, you're going to be joining us in Red Bluff at the State Theater on June 1st, and we're so very thrilled to have you in this little small community. I'm sure this is going to be a sellout show. You've got a new EP that just came out, Orion, and you said you're going to be singing some of those songs.
Yes, I will, and thank you. I'm excited to be coming to Red Bluff. I'm actually starting my tour, the Orion Tour, named after this EP called Orion. Be starting it there in Red Bluff, and so I'm excited.
David, I know that you took a break and did some mission work. It shows what a truly rounded person you are and that you care for others. You can tell that I can tell it in your voice. I can tell it when you speak that you do care about others. We have a huge community that supports our veterans and supports our troops here in Northern California. And I know that you perform for the troops. Now, concerts, being in front of people, I know it's a rush. I know how good it feels. Talk about what that felt like performing for the troops.
It was pretty amazing. I like to pay tribute to people who pay it forward. So, for example, like missionaries, I was a missionary for 2 years in Chile, and I'll still go and I'll just speak and perform for free for missionaries wherever they may be in the world, and then also for the troops, I got that chance to go out to the Middle East and perform in a few different places like Kuwait, Afghanistan, Bahrain, Djibouti, and it was just really cool. What I love about performing for people who are serving in whatever way, serving in their religion or serving for their country, they're so used to giving out and willing to put themselves on the line to look out for other people. They appreciate it so much more. And especially out there in the Middle East, a lot of them would come up and say, you didn't have to come here. You didn't have to do this, but it sure means a lot. And that was just really touching. And they listen to the music differently. They listen to the songs, and it was just really neat to hear that and talk to them and hear how, even the troops out there would say, we watched with my family. American Idol and my daughters love your music, or, we were really touched by this performance that we heard. And we always try to, at least when I perform, I like to have a message or at least tell a story in the music. I usually pick songs based on the story I can tell with it. And especially the troops, it's like they listen really intently. It meant a lot to me, just even as a performer. So I know they said they appreciated it, but it meant a lot to me how engaged they were.
Wow. It all started with your votes and a huge song that now has gone to music that is so personal for David Archuleta. Orion, we want you to pick up that new EP, and we want you to come to the State Theater, Red Bluff, Thursday, June 1st.
Get your tickets now. This is going to be a phenomenal show, and David, we cannot wait. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Don and Heather on Kshasta 104.3.